Good Chodesh, everybody, and welcome to another Daily Halachah Spotlight brought to you by OTN. This is episode 21, and because it's Rosh Chodesh El, and people are going to yeshiva from America to Eretz Israel, across the country, I think it's very appropriate to discuss the shaila of whether or not a person who takes a ride in an airplane has to bench HaGomel. So the very famous shuvah for Moshe Arachayim Chelik Beis, 7 Nun Tes, where Moshe says that just like we know, Chazal tell us, our Bochurim and Lahaydos. Who are the four? Four people have to bench HaGomel. If someone goes across the ocean in a boat, if someone goes across the desert, if someone was sick and got better, or a person was in jail and got released. Says Ramesha, there's a question if those four are literal or not. The Shulchan Aruch discusses it. Is it only those four, or is it anybody who's in a matzah of sakana? But, says Ramesha, that either way, a person who goes in an airplane does have to bench HaGomel because it's the same thing as going across the ocean in a boat. Why? Because just like when a person's in the ocean, your life depends on that boat. Because if that boat would break, if that boat would stop functioning, a person can't really survive too long in the middle of the ocean. So too, when a person's flying in the airplane, your life depends on the functioning of that airplane. If Chas v'Shalom Rachmana litzlan, that airplane breaks down, we're in big trouble. People on that plane would be in very big trouble. So your life is dependent on the airplanes, even though it's very rare to have a sakana, to have an airplane crash, and perhaps a car accident is perhaps more common, something a little scary to think about, or even more common. Still, says Ramesha, there's no gomel in a car, at least according to for Ashkenazim. For Sfardim, perhaps there would be, but for Ashkenazim, we don't make gomel from a car ride, but we would bench gomel on an airplane. According to Ramesha Shita, the way I understand it, so too, if a person takes a little joyride, goes up in the plane, circles around Lakewood a few times, and lands in the little Lakewood airport, that would also require Berachas HaGomel because you were in a situation where your life was dependent on the functioning of that airplane. Another interesting question that comes up, let's say a person's going on a business meeting. He has a business trip. He's going from New York to Los Angeles, and he'll be there for a couple of days. Do you make one HaGomel when you return? Or do you make two HaGomels, once in LA and then a second time when you return? So Ramesha said, and Rav David told me the same, it all depends on how long your trip is. If your trip is less than 30 days, then we treat the whole thing as one round trip, and you'd only make one Berachas HaGomel upon your return. But if your trip is lasting for more than 30 days, that cuts it off. So your way there is one trip gets a HaGomel, your way back is a second trip gets another HaGomel, so you end up with two HaGomel. So just as it's the Geiah for Bochurim going to Eretz Israel, generally speaking, they'll be there for more than 30 days, so they would make, according to Ramesha, two HaGomels, one on the way there, and another one when they return to the United States. All the best, everybody. Take care.